सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। ॐ सर्वबाधा विनिर्मुक्तो धनधान्य सुतान्वितः मनुष्यो मत्प्रसादेन भविष्यति न संशयः। ॐ या देवी सर्वभूतेषु विद्यारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। ॐ या देवी सर्वभूतेषु भक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। ॐ या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शान्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। ॐ शान्ति ॐ शान्ति ॐ शान्ति So today we'll talk about this very famous medicinal food. It's called Kapikachu, Mucuna, so many names are there. I feel very fortunate that every herb which I practice, almost all of them, I know them from childhood. I feel like my birth was in a lineal village called Vaidya's village. But when I was 9-year-old, I moved, my family migrated to the state called Jharkhand, where, like a forest state. And my first exposure of this mucuna was what happens in the summer season. It's a bean, it's a legume, it's a bean. And bean has, on the skin of the beans, has little feather, little fur there. And what happens in the summer, when it dries out and it breaks, and that fur is floating in the air, and that fur is so itchy, so itchy when it touches the skin. It itches like crazy, it will make you crazy. So my first exposure of this mucuna was like that. I was just, I got that, that wind, and then I saw it scratches like that. Then you have to put coconut oil and clay to get rid of that. So that was my first exposure. Maybe I was 12-year-old. And the whole village gets it. That forest bond wind is coming. And this is in a village language called Ulkusi, when that itch happens. So that was my first exposure, and then when I saw since childhood that my dad used to get from the forest and boil it with the milk and then take the skin out and then make powders. And then the most interesting thing happened when I saw before marriage, both bride and groom, my dad used to give them a recipe of a sweet halwa with condensed milk and the powder of mucuna, powder of this kapikachu or mucuna, with cardamom and ginger and black pepper and ghee and all. They used to make laddu or halwa, and it was kind of mandatory before 45 days before getting marriage for both bride and groom to eat on daily basis to have the all kinds of energy. So that was my first exposure. Every herb, every ingredient in a detailed way. So it looks like if you read the research, Dr. Lisa Raskin is going to talk, or if you read the sastra, it looks like this is an Aphrodisiac seed, but it's a different kind of Aphrodisiac. It is not like making you, triggering your mind and making you crazy. It's a very sattvic kind of Aphrodisiac, which helps you to make all the tissues, helps you to make blood, helps you to make muscle, helps you to make the ojas at the end. It helps you to support your bone marrow. So it is supporting the whole 7 tissues, and if somebody is not sexually active, if somebody is, like doing sadhana and not into sex, it makes ojas. And that's how, when I read all the scientific researches, ojas is neurotransmitters. And when I read the scientific research that it is helping dopamine production, you know more about dopamine, Dr. Raskin will talk. And also it is supporting the serotonin, both are happy neurotransmitters. So that is ojas. So there is a synonym of like one herb has a lot of different names based on how they look, based on how they what effects are there. The names are different names are there. There is one name of this mucuna is called Atmagupta. I'm just elaborating on this in the context that it's aphrodisiac, but it is spiritual also. It can enhance the spirituality also. The way my father described the Atmagupta, Atma means soul. Gupta means the secrecy. So what it does, if you take this seed, and if you are doing any sadhana, you are a seeker of the reality of life, or if you are devoted to God or goddess, it can give you the intelligence to understand the secrets about life, or understand the reality of the soul, or understand the spirituality of life. So this is very beautiful, very nice. Whether you want karma to enjoy life or moksha to get salvation, this mucuna can help you in both ways. So let us see what sastras are saying. So first name is, this is the first verse is here. Kapi Kachu. Kapi Kachu Ratma Gupta Vrisya Prokta Cha Markati. Kapi Kachu. One name is Kapi Kachu. Kapi means monkey and Kachu means testis. So how the Rishi discovered about this being? One Rishi who discovered about this being, he was in the forest, and what he saw that the monkeys are eating the seeds, it's a bean, in the forest, and then they are getting more sexually active. That's why it's named Kapi Kachu. The another name is Atmagupta. I described about that, which helps you, which gives you more ojas, more neurotransmitters, so that your brain can connect to your light of the soul and you understand the reality of soul. And then you have Brishya. Brishya means which enhances all the 7 tissue. Like in Ayurveda we have 7 tissue: clear part of plasma, rasa, rakta, blood, mamsa, muscle, meda, fat, asti, bone, majja, bone marrow, and then sukra, reproductive fluid. It increases all the 7 tissues. That is Brishya. And also it is called Markati. Markat means monkey again. Monkeys are loving them. That's why it's called Markati. And then you have Ajada, Kandura, Vyanga, Dusparsa, Prabrishayan. So this is very tough kind of wine. And then Kandura. As I told you, my first experience of Kandu means itching. The feathers are creating very much itchiness. That's called Kandura. Then Vyanga. It can create red lesions also, like a very red crust also it can create on the skin. Dusparsa. You should not touch the beans. You have to wear gloves or whatever, because it can be, that's called Dusparsa, very difficult to touch. Prabrishayani. It helps specifically to enhance the reproductive fluid. This is the first, this is from Bhav Prakash Nigantu from Bhav Mishra. We have some another sastras here. Let us see what they say. This is from Bhav Prakash also. Kapi Kachu, Brisham Brishya Madhura, Bringani Guru. This Kapi Kachu, now you know, is a very tough kind of seed. And Vrishya, it is enhancing the all 7 tissues, including reproductive fluid. It's a sweet in the taste, in the rasa, it's a madhura. And then Bringhano Guru. Also it is enhancing the volume of the body, muscle mass, bone mass. It is also enhancing the good kind of nurturing. It is nurturing for bone, muscle, giving you sturdiness. And then first taste is sweet, but the aftertaste is bitter also. Little bit bitterness is also there. Then you have Vatahari. It is specifying all 5 Vata. This is the good thing about this seed is it is specifying all 5 Vata. What 5 Vatas are? Pranavata, specifying your, if you are mentally agitated, it specifies mind. Then Udanavata, if you have any circulation problem or it supports lungs, vocal cord, that's Udanavata. Then you have a Samanavata in the stomach, which helps the everything to move in the stomach. It pacifies that. Also, it pacifies Apanavata, the lower ward energy of your colon, your kidneys, your bladder. And you will see how, according to science also, you will see how all these things, the scientific researches are proving also. And it is also pacifying the Vyanavata. Vyanavata is a cellular vata. When you are feeling fatigue, it means there is something wrong is in your Vyanavata due to malnourishment or over-exercise or toxins. So it is whenever due to malnourishment you have fatigue, it means due to malnourishment your Vyanavata is out of balance, and it helps to pacify the Vyanavata also. So this is the good thing about this seed. And Vatahari Balya. Balya means it is giving you physical stamina and immunity. Physical stamina and immunity. Balya. And then you have Kapha Pittasra Nasini. It is not only pacifying Vata, but it is also pacifying, if you use in a proper way. It can pacify Kapha also, means give you more stability, and Pitta also, because it is sweet taste. It is pacifying your Pitta, you're supporting your metabolism, supporting your digestion, supporting your all kind of transformation. It gives you proper stability by pacifying Kapha and enhancing transformation. And if there is any problem in the blood, Asra means blood here, any problem in the blood due to malnourishment, it is not a detoxifying herb, it's a nurturing kind of medicine. So if there is any problem due to malnourishment in the blood, it helps the blood also. And then Tad Vijam Bad Samnam Smritam Baji Karam Param. Particularly seed of Mucuna is Vata pacifying, and Vajikar means Aphrodisiac. It is a good Aphrodisiac, Sattvic Aphrodisiac. Then you have more Kapi Kachu Smrita Brisya Guru Syada Vatapitta Hrita Tasya Phalam Bala Slesma Stanya Sukra Karam Param. This is from another text, Sodal Nigantu. Kapi Kachu means Mucuna. Smrita Vrishya, known as Vrishya, enhancing the all 7 tissues, including the reproductive fluid. It's little heavy. It's Guru, because it's a legume, it's a heavy. So that's why we have to cure it. We have to boil in the milk and then rinse with the hot water and take all the skin out. And then always we add with some spices, some other ingredients. And in the coffee, I added, like a chicory seed and date seed and a little bit of haritaki there. So always you have to add something, otherwise it could be heavy for you because it's a beans. And then Tatphalam Balaslesma Stanya Sukra Karampar. It is giving you stamina. And if you don't make it right, if you don't add things to make it lighter, it can increase kapha because it's heavy and it is sweet also. These two properties are, so if you just mix powder in the, I have seen some YouTubes people had made without knowing this in-depth secret. They say, okay, have this powder mixed with milk and mix some dates and all. That's the problem. It has a lot of good properties, but you have to know the things from the sastras. it is heavy for sure, but when you mix with the way we make it, with mix other herbs, then it is become lighter. Otherwise, it is heavy, and then it can increase kapha. Otherwise, if you use it properly, it will pacify kapha. Then also you have stanya sukra karampara. Stanya means breast milk. Stanya means breast milk. If somebody is breastfeeding and milk is less, this will increase the breast milk. And sukra karampara, especially it will increase the sukra dhatu, reproductive fluid, semen in men, and ovum, the more healthy eggs in women. And then the Dhanvantri Nigantu says, kapi kachu rase swadus tikta sita nilapaha brisya pittasra hantricha dushta brana vinasini. Why I am quoting more sastras, more text? Because every author has little different experience. Based on their experience, they added something. They repeated the same thing, but they added something based on what they have experienced. These are very big scholars who wrote all these sastras hundreds of thousands of years ago. So Kapi Kachu, you know the name. Mucuna's name is Rase Swadus Tikta. It is, swadu means tasty, but it is little bitter also. And Sita Nilapaha, it is cooling, but it is specifying Vata also. Very unique kind of property. Brishya, again, this author is also saying it is increasing the all 7 tissues, including the sukra dhatu. Pittasra hantricha dushta brana vinasini. It is pacifying pitta and nurturing the blood. But what this author has added, if somebody has very chronic wound not healing, dushta bran means tough kind of ulcer or wound not healing, this can help to heal by rejuvenating the tissues. So this was from Dhanvantri Nigantu, from Dhanvantri.
I think that was the last one.
That's it. Charak is the last one. Charak is the last one. So it says, Charak Samhita says, Kakandola Atma Gupta Nam Masavat Fal Madishe. Only one Charak Samhita is very brief but very big at the same time. You know, Charak Samhita is famous for very small, tiny verse, but it means a lot. It's saying that this legume is having all the properties. If you know urad dal, like we have a lentil called urad, very heavy but very nurturing. Very heavy but very nurturing. So this is also heavy but nurturing. They just giving that refer to the urad dal called mash, which is very nurturing and very heavy. He's saying be careful, it's heavy, but if you know how to get rid of the heaviness, then it is good for all the properties the urad dal has. Urad dal, whenever people are having, they want to gain weight, we mix with the spices and we give them. Otherwise, we tell no, if you don't, you cannot digest. But this, especially this is a larger bean and we process them. We boil them with milk, with some spices, hours, and then we rinse them with the hot water. There is a thick skin there. we take out the skin, then we toast them as a just independent processing, and then we grind them, and then we use them. But always, like what I have done in this Baidyaj coffee, I added this dates and chicory and haritaki to make them lighter. In that, then I made two kind of capsules, one for men, one for women, because you will see the research also says that this is equally good for men and women. But what I have done for men, I added, there is a very famous root called Safed Musli. I added that, and I added another very famous herb called Gokchura, Tribulus testaris. The scientific research says that it increases testosterone. Very big, famous like Mucuna in the scientific world also. So that I added, and that I call Mucuna for men. For women, what I have done, Mucuna plus Ashoka and Satavari. Ashoka is very, very good, we talk about in one of the cafe. Ashoka is very good for women. And I added Satavari for give all kinds of mental, spiritual, physical vitality. So I call the Mucuna for, women. And both I added a little bit of Praval Pisti, Ayurvedic coral calcium, to enhance the synergy, reach to the bone faster. So that two products I just created, Mucuna for men, Mucuna for women, or of course we have this Baidyaj cup, but also we had from before plain Mucuna tablet, just Mucuna tablet with some binder there. And also for alternative delivery system, we have a Mucuna drops. Lot of people cannot even handle, no matter what we do, the heaviness still bothers. If they have a weak digestion, weak liver, for them I made a concentrated transmucosal delivery drop. And also I made the transdermal cream, particularly for early Kampavat. Kampavat is a Parkinson. Kampavat means Parkinson's. You will be amazed to know that 5,000 years ago in Charak Samhita, it is mentioned that this Kapi Kachu, Mucuna, is good for Kampavat. Kampavat, Kamp means shaking. Vat means what? It's what? It's Parkinson's, yes? And about 40 years ago or 50 years ago, they analyzed it and they figured out there is a dopamine there. There is a direct link between dopamine deficiency and Parkinson's. See how the rishis knew about thousands of years ago, and now they are getting the dopamine, the specific neurotransmitter, because it has levodopa, which is the amino acids, which becomes dopamine when reaches to the brain. Amazing support, amazing affirmation from the scientific world. So this is Kampavat, indicated in the Kampavat. So what we do, we tell people to minimize the dose under the physician's dose of synthetic dopamine under the guidance of their doctor, and then be on this slowly. And what I say, apply the transdermal cream on the spine so it reaches to the brain faster. And a lot of my practitioners are using it, and it helps. And you will see the researches also. So we have the whole range of this Mucuna, the tablet, the drops. Drops, what happens, the micromolecules of this seed is there, along with nutmeg. I added nutmeg. Nutmeg is a good catalytic agent. Anything you put with nutmeg, it delivers to the brain in very fast manner. So these products are there, but my favorite product of Mucuna is this coffee substitute, and we call it Baidyaj cup. And this smells like a coffee, tastes like a coffee, And one thing is, it is not going to make you jittery. And today you will see in the Dr. Raskin will talk about research that all the side effect of coffee, whatever bad effect is there on the brain or in the kidney or in the liver, if somebody has been doing coffee, if you switch on this is going to give you bliss like a coffee, but also slowly repair the kidney and liver and your dopamine level. It will, because scientifically says that when you are low in dopamine, you want something like coffee to stimulate yourself, and you have dopamine already from Mucuna in Badiaj cup. You don't need it. You will not desire coffee, and so many beneficial things are there. So since long time I was thinking to launch this coffee, but my problem was to match the flavor of the coffee, to match the taste of the coffee. And so now we have it. So you will not miss the coffee, but you will have all the benefits of Mucuna. Dr. Lisa Raskin is a very scientifically oriented chiropractor, and she is studying with me. How many years ago we started, Dr. Raskin?
2008.
2008, and she is practicing in Fairfield, Iowa. Very successful practitioner, and I'm proud to announce that she is my star practitioner now.
Okay. Well, that was amazing because everything you said was so aligned with the research. So I guess Western science is starting to catch up to ancient science. It's a long way to go, but anyway, this is just a little bit of the science behind Mucuna. So the slide number 2, Mucuna contains a high concentration of something called L-dopa, and apparently it has the highest concentration in any food. Some of the research says 40 milligrams per gram. And this L-dopa is a precursor to a very important neurotransmitter called dopamine. So this little picture is L-dopa, and then it becomes L-dopamine, and what happens is dopamine can't cross the blood-brain barrier. So L-dopa can, and it's wonderful because Mucuna has this L-dopa and gets into the brain. So the next slide. So it says, of course, dopamine is a very powerful neurotransmitter involved in mood, alertness, motivation, attention, memory, relaxation, sexual desire, and on and on. And it's called a catecholamine. And it's basically what they call a feel-good neurotransmitter. It's said that when dopamine is abundant in the synapses, a person feels like they can do anything. Slide is, you don't have to, analyze this, but down on the bottom on the left is the L-dopa. It says dopa, but that's L-dopa. And then it crosses the blood-brain barrier and it becomes dopamine. And then dopamine gets converted to the other called catecholamines, called norepinephrine and epinephrine. And these are responsible for our mood, that get up and go feeling, our motivation. And if anyone is interested in the science behind the catecholamines, I've got links, so they can email me. I found some really good articles. So the next one, where are we? Number 5. So this is interesting, and it kind of aligns with what you were saying, Michael. The symptoms of low dopamine in the brain can cause this feeling of tension and negativity and depression, difficulty concentrating, edginess, you kind of crave chocolate and all of that. And what lowers dopamine actually is eating high levels of sugar, using nicotine and caffeine. So it'll be very interesting to see what rises up to these symptoms for us, huh?
Everybody, whoever is doing it, everybody feels good, and including me.
Yeah.
I was the biggest child lover. I used to go to You know, Starbucks 10 times a day.
Have you cut chai?
Huh?
Have you cut chai because of it?
Just only 1 cup I do. And that I'm going to cut also.
What?
When I first took it, I was so vata at the time, and I remember I had to take a nap. Anyway, the 6th slide. Oh, this is wonderful. So Mucuna not only contains dopamine, it also contains serotonin and 5-hydroxytryptophan, which is a precursor. And so serotonin is really another feel-good neurotransmitter. Everybody knows about serotonin.
Yeah, serotonin, everybody
And some of the research said that it's been found in the pod and the leaves and the fruit of mucuna, and it's known to regulate aging and learning and memory, our sense of well-being, our capacity to organize our lives, and to relate to others. It all depends on serotonin and the serotonin pathway. So mucuna has that as well. And then number 8 is I picked up some of the research. There's a lot of research, and it aligns with the sastras, the results of taking this. The research on depression was done in animals, but it shows hope for depression. And then number 9, let's see, more on depression. A natural antidepressive agent, it says. And then number 10, the Aphrodisiac effect. So, let's see. A lot of studies have been done about the libido-enhancing effect of mucuna, and that's because dopamine has that effect, so it makes sense. So then if we look at number 11, this is some of the research. There was some fun research, I have to tell you. This one, sexual function improving effect of mucuna in sexually normal male rats. At the end it says the drug produced a striking and sustained increase of sexual activity. And it's talking about how one rat was mounting like 10 times an hour, things like that. So that's a lot. And then the next one, yeah, I know. Another one about that. And number 13, I'm just moving through these. This study, number 13, is very important. I think it's the most well-done study. Reduces stress and improves the quality of semen in infertile men. And
that's why they were giving 45 days before marriage to both. Now it makes sense. Because in India, if you don't create baby within a year, people start to doubt that there is something wrong there.
Oh my gosh. What I did on the bottom of some of the slides was put the research link if anybody wanted to read it.
Yeah.
But these were men that were psychologically stressed, and they had low cortisol levels and were infertile, and they had to decrease sperm count, and they had a lot wrong with them. Low glutathione and ascorbic acid and all kinds of antioxidants. And then they were treated with mucuna. And not only did it help their psychological stress, but it increased their semen. And it improved sperm count, restored the levels of antioxidants, restored glutathione and vitamin C in the semen. So this is a really strong study.
Drishya.
Yeah.
We're talking about Drishya, Ringani.
Yeah. And it says at the end of a comment on the study, it may be proposed that increased dopamine level in the brain may not only optimize the release of hormones, including testosterone, leading to increased sexual drive and improved performance, but it may also accomplish reduction of psychological stress. Treatment with mucuna may also contribute to proper functioning of the male genital system.
Wow.
So that's a good one. And then regulation of how the hypothalamus talks to the pituitary and the gonads, and how it looks like Mucuna kind of it works with this and improves the conversation of this axis. It says treatment with Mucuna significantly improves testosterone, luteinizing hormone, dopamine, adrenaline, noradrenaline, and infernal man. So, and sperm count and motility. So that's a good one too. That's studied. And there was something about here. Is this number 14? Yeah, so now 15. This is so much more boring than these research studies, but they're important. Oh, this is a good one. Mucuna has also been reported to have anabolic and growth hormone stimulating properties. And anabolic means, just like you said, it increases muscle mass. And if you think about growth hormone, it also would increase bone mass. It would help the actions of the pancreas. It's really like an anti-aging thing. It helps the thyroid go from the inactive T4 to make more active T3. It helps in bone, protein synthesis. So that's pretty amazing. And let's see, 16. Of course, you talked about Parkinson's disease, so I won't go over that again. But I think what is really interesting here, a 2002 U.S. patent was awarded on Mucuna, citing its use for the treatment of disorders of the nervous system, including Parkinson's disease. A patent. Isn't that amazing? Yeah.
Wow.
And 17. It's also been seen to help with diabetes, and has been shown to be anti-inflammatory and pain relieving. And 18, yeah, I found this was interesting. It was shown to protect against snake venom poisoning. So to me, this means it has an immunoprotective effect. And apparently, if you're inoculated with this, you can be for a full year protected against snake bite. And I was looking at the mechanism, and it says it's an immune mechanism. Mucuna contains an immunogenic component, a glycoprotein, which stimulates the production of antibodies that cross-react to certain venoms. So, I don't know, is that in the Shastras, the immune effect?
The Balya also says immunity. We covered Balya, supporting the immune system.
Yeah. And then the last one, the contraindications, I believe that most likely your remedies wouldn't cause a problem. This is if you're taking the straight.
Yeah, for the straight Mucuna, but I always balance, particularly in the coffee. I balanced, basically we cure them also.
Right.
We boil with the milk and, the spices and all, so we cure them. So there will be least or none side effect, but you can talk about it, yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's interesting. It shouldn't be used during pregnancy because it can stimulate the uterus. Of course, since it lowers blood sugar, we want to be careful with people with blood sugar disorders. But then you think about how it enhances growth hormone, which helps heal the pancreas. So there's some balancing there.
Yeah.
Of course, it's contraindicated with MAO inhibitors because of its serotonin effect, I guess. And it increases testosterone. So I guess if you've got too much, androgen, you wouldn't take it. And it inhibits prolactin, so you wouldn't use it if you had a problem there. And of course, with Parkinson's and those kinds of diseases, you want to watch. So those are the contraindications. And then the last slide, number 20, I found a really good scholarly overview which talked about everything that I talked about and has links, and the link to that is on the bottom. Journal of Traditional and Complementary Medicine.
These are published in a peer-reviewed big journals. Yes, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Very good. This is not very nice. Very nice. Anybody has any question for Dr. Raskin?
Is there anyone who should not be able to take it?
Yes, he told about a few specific, like if you are diabetic and
Should
you
be
are
taking it.
taking, no, you.
The coffee, the
it
coffee.
will help. No, coffee is pretty balanced.
So the herbal coffee, the
Yeah.
beatrice coffee is fine.
Oh, yeah.
But
Coffee
the-
is
but the-
fine because number one, it has gone through the process, but you have another thing to balance.
So the coffee can be for anyone?
Yeah, coffee
Okay.
will be coffee. But other even my products like Mucuna tablet, but the transdermals and the drops are safe, no problem. It's
So
okay.
my mom is diabetic, so she really shouldn't be taking the pills, the capsules.
No, capsules she can take, but she has to monitor if she is in anti-diabetic medicine.
Yes.
She has to monitor carefully because this will also work and that is also working. She can go in hypo.
So do both of them.
So it is called synergistic,
Right.
you know,
Synergistic, yeah.
synergistic
Synergy.
effect.
Yeah,
So
synergy.
it will be better if she can be on Mucuna rather than the other
The blood,
tablet.
blood
But be
lowering.
careful.
Yeah.
Any more question?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna send her some coffee.
What's the best time to take this coffee?
You're gonna send
Like
me some
morning or
coffee?
afternoon?
This coffee you can do anytime,
The coffee is
All day.
all day at night, because this is not a stimulant. You heard this is a relaxing. This will give you a wakeful relaxation. It is not going to make you sleepy, but it is not going to make you jittery.
It's gonna calm you
It
down.
will give you serotonin, dopamine, happy. But if you want to sleep, you can sleep. It's not like
Better muscles.
and better muscles growth. Bringana, I was talking about. It is so fascinating for me that all the herbs, all the famous herbs, researchers are proving what is written in the sastras. This is wonderful for us. Yeah.
Did Dr. Raskin come across any research in regards to it healing ulcers? Like in the case of my mom, would it be something good for her to drink or not right now?
It will help her. It will help her.
Have you used Mucuna to
No,
treat
but for
anyone?
your mom, it's a different lot of herbs, other herbs for specific conditions.
Right, but
She can do this, but we have to find another herb for her.
okay,
But it won't harm her.
It is
won't
going
harm
to
her.
help her.
yeah, it won't hurt her.
It will help her basically, but not the specific things.
Right, she needs
Just the
more,
coffee.
but this
Yeah.
is good too.
So coffee is there.
Coffee's ready.
So good.
We did some.
Have you done coffee, Dr. Raskin?
You cheated.
Have I done guided coffee? Oh, yeah.
You have it?
Of course. We drink it here every day.
Wonderful. I think we should send you some sample you give to all the visitors.
Okay, well, we have some. We're giving them out, but we're running out of them if you want to send more.
We barely got today's about 40 pounds. Somehow we'll make in few days. Were whole consignment is stuck in the customs. Big one.
No, I was not
know how to say it, like in your
Okay.
Too much.
Any question? Yeah.
Just in regards to the antidepressant effect of it and with the increasing in muscle and bone mass to help with all of that, is there a recommendation of how many times a day you should be drinking this to help with those conditions?
Basically, again, if anybody is on antidepressants, they have to check with their doctor because there will be synergistic problem.
Right. But so if you choose to go off your antidepressant and replace it with this,
Under the supervision of doctor.
okay. But again, is there a recommended number
Like
of times?
that depends in the person to person, how much and what medication the person is doing. But yes, you can do up to 3 cups.
3 cups a day.
Yeah, never go off any medication, but you can try both and check with the doctor.
But you're saying up to 3 times a day.
Yeah, 3 to 4 times it's good. Anything you can overdose, even
Yeah,
rice
exactly.
or lentil
Water.
by water.
Air.
But I do 3 times. Sometimes, I'm feeling good. So 3 to 4 times, no harm, because this is a nurturing kind of thing.
So is it the coffee or is it the capsules that you're saying?
Coffee. Capsule 1 or 2, twice a day. Capsule for men and women, twice a day. It has balance also, so twice a day. But the coffee can give you, this capsules can give you energy, because I added some energy giving herbs. So you should do morning and afternoon. Don't do the capsules at night, otherwise it will give you energy.
What about the coffee?
Coffee you can do even before going to bed.
Okay.
It is calming energy. It is giving you relaxing energy. Because see, tryptophan, Dr. Raskin, tryptophan is calming.
Yeah.
You know that. Tryptophan is calming, has calming energy. So you can sleep better.
So you're saying if you were to do the capsule 2 times a day, 1 capsule or 2 capsules?
1 capsule.
So once, twice a day.
Once, twice.
Can you do the coffee and the capsules together?
In a specific situation, but I will say either choose one, either coffee or capsules. Don't overdose it.
I have a question for her. Since it has growth hormone factors, what if you have thyroid nodules on your thyroid or fibroids or cysts, which are growths, right? Would be contraindicated then?
Dr. Raskin, you have answer if anybody has a thyroid problem.
Those tissues come from lack of intelligence, lack of good prana making good tissue. Growth hormone helps you make better tissue, so I don't see that there's an issue. Is that right, Bhaji?
Yeah, that's what I was coming with. See, the thing is, all those growth, bad growth, there's a good growth and bad growth. Intelligent growth and dumb growth, and so there's like cancer is a growth, but this is dumb. Some intelligence is missing there. This will grow muscle mass and bone with intelligence. So this is not going to support the unintelligent growth. This is all about giving intelligence of transformation better and better.
So it lasts longer.
So everybody is good here. So with more questions, yeah.
Is there any external issues that come up with it, such as skin irritation or itchiness or
No,
stuff like that?
it will not do.
So would that help a person that has that issue?
If it is due to something in lack of nourishment, it will help. But these things are having so many other reasons, so many other reasons.
Conversation mode is on. Everyone can now be heard.
You can now ask questions also from the phone.
This is Gail. Can I ask 2 questions, please?
Yes, Gail?
Yes, the first question is, after you make the Vigus cup, if we want to add milk, can we just put milk in the same pot and bring it to a boil with the Vigus cup, or does it need to be separate?
No, same pot. That's what we do here.
Okay, and also, since I have never been a coffee drinker, I don't know the optimal way to brew this.
What?
Coffee
How do you
percolator.
actually make it?
Get
I'm
it.
not a coffee drinker.
Get a coffee percolator. That's the best. And then you add 1 teaspoon per cup, and add the water as 1 cup of water for 1 cup, and then let it percolate, and then it'll stop on its own, and then it's great. That's what we do here at the office.
Okay, do you think a French press would work?
Not a press, a percolator is better.
Okay.
From what we
I've
tried,
been
yeah.
boiling it on the stove, so that's not so good, huh?
Yeah, the percolator does a really good job. The flavor comes out even better.
Is it not I have the same thing. I'm not a coffee drinker. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, and I just start boiling, put a teaspoon in like half milk and half water, or bring it to a boil, and then strain it.
That's very good. That's very good. Very good. I like that method. Very nice.
If you use a percolator, you have to make some.
I have
What
one
if
more
you only want
question,
to make
by
1
Joe.
teaspoon?
Yes.
I noticed I drank it. I drank it for maybe a day, and then the effects didn't seem to go away. I continued to be happy even without drinking it for another day.
That's good. Bonus happiness.
I'm wondering what's the mechanics best.
That's good. That's good. Your body is processing it right, and you know, it's wonderful.
Can you crash off of that though? Like if you're constantly feeling happy, will it come to?
You will not crash. See, this is the yeah, very good question that she's asking, that whether if there is any withdrawal effect.
Yeah.
The mechanic of working is so much sequential. It is not like when you eat sugar. It's like a white sugar. Your serotonin level goes like high,
and it drops.
then you drop.
Right.
This is going into sequences. This is not just straight going there.
Okay.
Transformation after transformation after transformation. So you will not crash. You maybe have a less happy, but you will not be sad.
Okay, so you won't go back to that.
Yeah, it is not. This is not like this is not like something boosting like a serotonin with the white sugar.
Not like sugar. Yeah.
You know, like when you eat a pear has sugar, it increases serotonin, but increases slowly. I'm giving you an example. It increases slowly, slowly, slowly. It goes high, but it decreases also slowly.
Not a spot.
But if you eat a white sugar or chocolate with white sugar, you become happy like this. Serotonin graph goes high,
Yeah.
then you
Yeah.
get depressed and
It's a spike.
go to buy some shoes or something.
Does it have to be mixed with milk?
Me too. Funny.
So go to some store to make you happy.
Diamonds.
Huh?
I thought you would say diamonds.
Diamond is not
Best
good for
way to sweeten the Vigus cup.
Huh?
Especially if you're trying to avoid sugar, what's the best way to sweeten Vigus cup? Is
You
there
put
another way?
honey. Yes,
Is
anybody
it
has
good to
question?
have for people with chronic fatigue?
Don't talk about those things now. So, because see,
Insomnia.
in Ayurveda we do not have one medicine for one disease. We have to go through the whole why you have chronic fatigue. Somebody has chronic fatigue due to drinking too much coffee, or somebody has chronic fatigue due to some toxins. So that's why that is the problem in Ayurveda, that we do not have one medicine for chronic fatigue. So we have to go through the etiological factor and the whole cycle of pathogenesis. Then we can say, yeah.
Taking the capsules or the tea, will it help you to decrease your cravings for food?
Oh yes. It will help you to decrease the craving for sure, because see, all the cravings, most of the cravings you have, either you are deficient on something, deficient on the neurotransmitters, like if you're deficient in a serotonin, you crave sugar. That is nature's way, body's way to tell you what you should do. Then depends on you do white sugar or drink this coffee. So whenever you have craving for, like when you are thirsty, you crave for water, because water, your body needs the water. So because this is going to give you all those neurotransmitters, which neurotransmitters are creating cravings? When you are low in tryptophan, you crave for protein, because a lot of protein has tryptophan, meat and milk and turkey. So that is body's way. So this is going to see how many neurotransmitters are there. It stimulates, it creates. So that many cravings this will cover. Yeah. Somebody. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I have a question.
Yeah.
What does it not do?
It is not addictive.
I was joking.
And it is not, giving you any side effects. Any one more question? Then we are hungry.
Hungry for coffee and food.
Yeah.
With Parkinson's, is it good in the initial stage
No,
of the
basically
disease?
now you saw the researches. They are comparing in animal models with synthetic, giving synthetic dopamine and this mucuna. And they are finding that mucuna has no, synthetic dopamine has side effects. But mucuna has no side effects and working equally.
But even in advanced
Yeah,
Parkinson's.
yeah. Because this is the, see, that's what somebody got patent on this, because this dopamine dose and how much time they retain in the body. Two factors are there. How much dopamine a person, that is specific person needs, how much deficient they are, and how many hours or how many days it stays in the body. Only problem, I was doing some research, only problem with this mucuna is it doesn't retain in the body for a long time because it's a natural substance. So they are trying to figure out how much dose to give or what will be the form, because what happens, anything you do natural, body is just saying, okay, now your work is done, you know. So they are trying to find out that problem is going on there. But it helps. It helps.
And it'll help with the tremors as well.
Yes, yeah. It helps in the symptoms. Early symptoms goes away very easily. Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you've known about this bean since you were a child,
Mm-hmm.
and like me, I'm kind of glad to hear you're also a chai addict. So, how long has this formulation been there, and how long have you been drinking it or not drinking it?
No, basically this is very new. This is very new because I was willing to make this a long time, but I'm very, I needed the flavor, as everybody needed the flavor. Otherwise, if you do just make the pure mucuna, you will not drink it. It's little bitter, little. So this flavor, just I made about 6 months ago, a small batch, and then I tested it on my staff and ourselves, and then last month it came like 40-50 pounds, but it got sold out. But now I'm doing it on a regular basis, and I'm not craving for chai. I was a big chai addict, big one.
Yeah, you're looking at one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, so no, I was just wondering, knowing the shastras and knowing the knowledge you have, if you took advantage of this being through your adolescence or your young adult life, or not.
I was trying to do it, but I have jillion things to do.
Right. Okay.
So I was, since last 15 years, I was thinking to make something with it, but I was going on and off, and if you see, I produce every week 2-3 products.
Awesome. Thank you.
So, but now we have it.
Yeah.
And I know that, you know. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody.